Hey, I'm Dan, and today I am back out at the workbench. What I'm going to be doing is replacing the grip tape on this deck. And I'll walk you through why I'm doing it, maybe when is a good time to do it, and how to do it, the nuts and bolts. It's a pretty simple job, and it can actually breathe a little bit of life back into your deck and help keep that deck going for longer, save some of those old growth maple trees in northern United States and Canada. All right, so here's the situation. My shoes normally last me about 3 months. These are New Balance NM440s. Again, nothing in this video is sponsored. This is stuff that I bought. And I'm about 2.5 months into these shoes right now. As you can see, I scooch around when I'm trying to set it for kick flips, and therefore I'm wearing through the tread, and I don't want to get hurt with my foot sliding off a board without any tread. So I'm going to break in a new set of New Balance NM440s. And when you do that, of course, you don't have the same board feel as a nicely broken in set of shoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rest of what's in these shoes on my flat ground, my super light flat ground setup for working on flip tricks and flip combos. And I'm going to break in the new shoes doing park work, things that are less precise, ledges and rails and quarter pipes and that kind of stuff. And I'm going to do that on this board, which is what I normally ride in the park. It's a real 8 1/4 Indy 144 forged titaniums, Formula 4 tablets. And I like this setup. These boards normally last me about 3 months. Part of the way that I get there is by doing the glue on the tail technique. You can watch my video on razor tail if you want to learn how to do that and prolong the life of your board. I did have that Uber Light review that I did, and that board lasted me 6 months before it was still great, and I just gave up on it and moved on to this because I wanted to try something different. So watch that video if you're interested. So here we are with this deck that is now 6 weeks old. So it's about halfway into the life of what this deck would normally be good for me. And the grip tape is wearing out for sure. This is just normal Jessup. I like Jessup because it's not too gritty and it's a little bit more lightweight. But it's starting to wear out a little bit. And not only is it getting chipped along the edges, and I don't mind that so much, but if you have an older deck, as Ben DeGrow pointed out in a recent video, if you have an older deck with brand new shoes, that's kind of a bad setup because your shoes are not broken in and your deck's starting to get soggy and it makes your deck feel terrible. So what I'm going to do here is put a new set of grip on this old deck and use it to break in the new shoes, doing normal park skating. And then after they're broken in, maybe a couple of weeks, I'll switch over to using those shoes for everything, including all the flat ground work that I'm doing. So let's head over to the bench and get this apart. What we're going to do is take off the trucks, of course, and then we're going to use a razor blade to kind of peel up some little spot on the edge somewhere. We're going to find a spot where it's maybe already peeling up, and we're going to use a razor blade to peel that up. And then we're going to use a hairdryer to warm up the glue, and we'll start to peel it back at an acute angle, less than 90 degrees. And we're going to warm it up because the molecular connection here, the glue, is holding on really, really tightly to the board. And when it's cold like that, it's like, I'm going to hold on really tight. But if you warm it up, right, it starts to relax. It's like, sure, dude, you can take me off the board, no problem, right? So you're going to warm it up with the hairdryer so that it's easier to pull this off. Once we pull it off, then we'll look for any spots that we might need to clean up with a sander. You might have a chip that you need to glue, and then put a new sheet on and you're done. That's how we do it. All right, let's get to the bench and get working. All right, so I used this little spot right here where it was chipped just to get underneath the grip tape, and then I was able to work my way around to the end and then pull up the end. So at this point in time, I have the end started. That's a good spot to be. Now it's actually helpful to put this thing on the floor and kind of stand on it and then pull it off as you heat it up while you're standing on it to just kind of make it easier to manage. All right, the old grip tape is off and done. The board now has no grip tape on it, but I'll say this, it didn't come off as nicely as it has for me in the past. There's actually a decent amount of glue residue that's still on here, so it's sticky right now, which means I'm gonna grip it right away with a new sheet. I'm not gonna bother trying to get this residue off of here. There's, it's just gonna add to the glue that's underneath the new grip tape, so it's fine. It's okay. It didn't come off as well. Who knows, could have been the humidity. It's kind of hot and humid out here. It could have been, I didn't apply enough heat. Could have been the particular sheet of grip tape. I'm not sure why, but this is still fine. You don't have to get every last little thing off of there. You're putting a new sheet of grip tape on. Anyway, so let's do that now. Put a new sheet on. Okay, we're done. Freshly gripped board. It's a new board. It's not a new board, but hopefully it'll skate kind of like a new board. Give it a sort of a fresh life for the second half of the time that I'm using this deck and be a good opportunity to break in those new shoes. So hopefully you found this to be helpful. Maybe try it out yourself, pass it along to somebody that you think might enjoy it. And also a good time to maybe clean your bearings and rotate your wheels, sort of do that general halfway through your deck life maintenance. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you found this to be useful. Let's get out there and skate again. See ya.